Okay, now we're ready to get started. So we are going to be starting out with a squat. So if you prefer to go heavier with a squat, go ahead and grab your medium to heavy weights. But make sure they're handy off to the side so you don't trip over them while we're doing our warm-up. Starting our warm-up, feet hip width apart, seated or standing. You're just going to start swinging your arms side to side. Bringing a little motion through your body. Starting to loosen everything up. You guys know the drill. We're going to do 2 more to each side. And then coming back to center, moving into our shoulders, nice big circles going forward. And then going backwards. And then throw your arms in and out. And then moving into those quick side bends, just reaching up, bringing a little motion, a little stretch, but not focusing on the stretch, mostly focusing on making sure everything is moving easily. 1 more on each side. And then we're going to move down into our elbows, circles in one direction there. And go the other way. And then your wrists. And go the other way. Squeeze your hands. Flick those fingers in and out. Maybe give everything a nice wiggle. And then we're going to move down to our lower body. So standing, you're going to go straight into those hip circles in one direction. Seated, bopping your knees side to side. Just bringing a little motion. Getting the fluid moving through the joints. Beautiful. If you're standing, go the other way. Beautiful. And then bring those feet in a little closer together. If you're standing, bopping your knees forward and back. And then if it feels good, add some little circles in one direction. If you're seated, you're just going to swing your feet forward and back. Again, just loosening everything up. If you're doing those circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then moving down into your ankles. Again, seated or standing, you're going to take 1 foot, flex and point. And then you're going to rotate that ankle in one direction. And then the other direction. And then switch feet. Flex and point. Bringing a little mobility into that ankle. And then rotate in one direction. And then the other direction. Perfect. Okay. Now, if you are doing a standing routine, you're going to grab 1 medium to heavy weight. We're going to start with offset squats. So you're going to rack 1 weight on 1 shoulder. We're going to do our squat. And then that same leg is going to come up for a knee drive. So squat, knee drive. If you're doing the seated version, you can do a sit to stand and then do the knee drive if it feels good. Leave it off altogether, or you can sit and just focus on that knee drive. So choose your variation. Here we go. Beautiful, looking good. Try to draw that knee up to touch the elbow if you can. Making sure you have your balance. And if you want to involve your upper body a little bit more, make this one a little more of a challenge, lift that weight up away from your shoulder and hold it up, making a muscle. Perfect. 15 seconds to go. You got it, guys. Beautiful. All right. From here, roll that shoulder out just a little bit, especially if you were holding the weight up away from the shoulder. And then switch sides. We've got 1 minute on the other side. Squat into the knee drive. Nice, looking good. You choose how deep and how wide your squat is based on what your hips and knees feel okay with today. And again, if you're doing the seated version, feel free to leave that squat off altogether. The knee drive by itself will give you a great exercise, especially through your core. More than halfway there already. Beautiful, you got it. And time. All right, from here, we're gonna set that weight down, roll through the shoulder just a little bit, and then we're gonna grab medium to light weights, again, depending on what you like. We're gonna do a hammer curl with a calf raise. So for the hammer curl, you're coming up sideways, keeping your palms turned in, and then the calf raise. Seated version, same thing, and you're just flexing those calf muscles. Easy peasy, 1 minute, here we go. Bringing those weights up and down at the same pace, not letting gravity do the work for us. Beautiful. And keeping your belly in nice and tight here. Perfect, looking good. "20 seconds to go, you got it. All right, for our last 10, we're gonna hold the weights out at a 90-degree angle and then try to hold that calf raise the whole time. Almost there. Time. Beautiful. Set everything down. Give it a quick shake. And then you may want to go to light for this one, depending on how you feel about rows and kickbacks. We're going to do a split stance row with a kickback. So we're only going to do one arm at a time, putting your right foot behind you. Your right arm is going to go 90-degree or 45-degree angle, whatever. Row it up and then kick it back. The other hand's just hanging. I'll tell you to switch at the 30-second mark. Here we go. Row and kick back. Staying on one side until we get to the halfway mark. And then we'll switch our feet and our hands. Nice flat back. Switching in 5 seconds. 2, 1, and switch your feet. Other hand goes. Beautiful, looking good. Head, neck, and back stays in a straight line, so you're looking down towards the floor. You may see me look to the side, but that's because I'm checking on you guys. Almost there. And time. Nice. All right, up next, we have upward flies. So if you went with those light weights, you're probably gonna stick with those. Holding the weights out to your sides, flying up towards the middle. Don't let them bump into each other. So you wanna stop just before they touch and then come right back down. Seated is the same thing. 1 minute, here we go. Out to the side, V up towards the middle, work in your chest. Beautiful, keep a soft bend in your elbows here. Keeping a tight belly, like you're drawing your rib cage, the sides in towards the middle. And you should feel it through your shoulders, upper arms, and hopefully a little bit through here as well, activating those pectoral muscles. 20 seconds to go. Almost there. And time. Excellent. All right. Last thing we have this morning, you're going to set the weights aside all together, and we're going to do some good mornings, working a little bit on that lower back. The standing version, you're going to hinge at your hips, pushing your butt back, looking up and out, and then raise your arms up so that you're focusing the contraction in your lower back. If that doesn't feel good, leave the arms off so that you're focusing more on your mid back. Seated version is the same, raising the arms to change the contraction. Here we go, 1 minute, up and out. Beautiful. So eyes forward, unless that doesn't feel good, and then look down. Beautiful. Nice and easy. Pausing at that outstretched point. Just feeling the muscles work for a sec. Nice bend in your knees here. And time. Perfect. All right. That's the end of our first set. Go grab some water. We have 2 sets to go. All right, bringing it back in. We are back up to that offset squat. So again, choose your variation, whatever you prefer. Rack it on one side. And then, oh no, I messed up my timer. Give me 1 second. Okay, racking that weight, squat, and knee drive. Here we go. Looking good. You got it, guys. Halfway done. Ten seconds to go. And time. Switching sides from here, rack it up on the other side. And 1 minute. Whether you're holding the weight up away from your shoulder or letting it rest, whatever variation of squat you're doing, you look fantastic. Beautiful. Halfway done. Keep breathing. Almost there. You got this. And time. Excellent. From here, we're moving into the hammer curl with the calf raise. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Curling it up and pressing up for that calf raise, or of course the seated version. Nice. Nice and steady here. Now you can play around with where you do your calf raise. Sometimes I like to do it while the weights are at the top, sometimes at the bottom. Challenges your balance a little differently. So find one that works for you or mix it up. We've got 5 seconds left here. And time. All right, from here, moving into the split stance row plus kickback. I didn't demonstrate the seated version on this one, so I'll do it now. You're doing the same thing, 1 foot behind, lean forward. The arm that matches the foot behind is the one that's going for the first 30 seconds. Here we go. Row it up, kick it back. Nice and steady. Make sure you squeeze that tricep at the back of the kickback. Switching in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Switch your feet, switch your hands. Straight into the other side. Ten seconds to go here. Almost there. Time. Beautiful. All right. From here, moving into those upward flies. Grab whatever weight is right for you, or you can do this one empty hand as well. 1 minute. Here we go. Most people do go light or again, empty hand on this one because this is not a motion that we do a lot. So it tends to be one that most people are not as strong at. It involves a lot of stabilizer muscles. around the shoulders as well as those pectoral muscles. It's a really great exercise to do, but it can really make your shoulders burn if you're not used to it. Over halfway there already. Almost there, 5 more seconds. And time. All right, set those weights to the side, and we're finishing off this round with our good mornings. All right, here we go. 1 minute, nice flat back, reaching up and out. Beautiful. Hinge back at your hips. Go ahead and stick your butt out behind you. It's okay. That's how you get that flat back that focuses this exercise on the right muscle groups and helps you get strong. Beautiful. Yeah, you got it. Looking good. Ten more seconds here. And time. Perfect. That is the second round done. Grab some water. We have 1 more to go. All right, bringing it back in. Our last set, we are going back to that offset squat. So grab 1 weight, rack it up. 1 minute on the clock. And here we go. If you're not accustomed to squatting, or if you have knee or hip problems, starting with a sit to stand where you have that pause of the sitting in the chair for a moment is a really great place to start to build squatting strength. So if you're fatigued or if you're just not used to the exercise, go ahead and sit all the way down in the chair and take a second before you stand back up. Beautiful. 15 seconds to go here. Almost there. And time. All right. Roll through that shoulder for just a second and then switch sides. And we're doing it again. Here we go. Nice. Looking good. Over halfway there. You got this. If you find that the balance part is difficult, but the squat is okay, sit down in the chair and do the knee drive seated. That's another great variation to make it a little more accessible. And time. Excellent. From here, moving into the hammer curl with the calf raise. 1 minute. And here we go. Curling it up. And then that nice calf raise. I don't care whether you do the calf raise at the top or the bottom, whatever works for you. What I do care about is lowering the weight at the same pace that you raise it so that you're making your muscles work evenly in both directions. Halfway there. All right, we're going to do that static hold for the last 10 seconds again on this round. So bring those weights up to parallel and then try to hold that calf raise if you can. Almost there. Time. Beautiful. Set those weights down, maybe kick your legs out just a little. And then get ready for the row plus the kickback. So 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind. That hand is the one going. Row it up, kick it back, a little squeeze at the top. Nice flat back. Beautiful. Looking good. 5 seconds left on this side. And switch. Check in with your breathing again here, especially in the bent over posture. It can be hard to breathe smoothly if you're not used to it. You want to make sure you can take nice, even breaths. 5 seconds left. And time. All right, from here, moving into those upward flies, bringing the weights out to the sides. Beautiful, here we go. If you want to add a little extra work in your back, flex your arms back just a little bit behind you, only if that feels good through your shoulders. It should feel like you're squeezing your shoulder blades together as you come to the back. Beautiful. Halfway done here. Looking good, you got it. Almost there, 5 seconds to go. And time. Nice job. All right, set those down. And then we finish off with our good mornings. 1 minute on the clock. Last one, we got this. Reaching up, looking up if you can. Nice big bend in your knees. Hinging back at the hip. Beautiful. It's a lot like chair pose in yoga. Nice, looking good, guys. Almost there, you got this. Not gonna lie, after those upward flies, I feel it through my shoulders. And time. That is our last set done. Go grab a little more water and we'll do our final stretch. All right, bring it back in. Seated or standing. We're going to start with our feet fairly close together today. It can be a little more of a challenge balance-wise, so if you need to spread your feet apart, go for it. But if you can bring them together, start there. Arms coming up, overhead, deep breath in. And then we're going to lean a little over to one side. Come back to center. Lean a little over to the other side. Come back to center. And then folding forward. Let everything hang for just a moment. And then with a nice big bend in your knees, roll all the way up, nice and slow. Shrug the shoulders up to your ears and roll them down and back. Now from here, we're gonna try even a little more challenge. Step one foot over the other, raising your arms up to one side. Again, that little side bend. And you may find that you get a little more stretch doing it this way. Coming back to center, over to the other side. Back to center, and then carefully, only as far as this feels good for you, folding forward. Again, pausing here just for a moment, and then rolling up nice and slow. Shrug the shoulders up and roll them down and back. Switching the cross in your feet. We're gonna do that one more time, going the other way. Arms come up. And then little lean to one side. Back through center, little lean to the other side. Back to center, gentle fold forward, just to where it feels good for you. If this doesn't feel good on your knees or your hips, uncross your feet, it's fine. Pausing just a moment longer here. And then rolling up nice and slow. Shoulders shrug up and roll down and back. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna step one foot out and then pull the toes up and lean forward until you feel a stretch through the back of your legs. In the chair, same thing. And then coming back up, you're gonna push your back hip forward. In the chair, this looks a little different. You have to drop that knee down to stretch through the front of that back hip. Beautiful. Push it forward. One more second here. And then release. Come back to center and go to the other side. So other foot's going to come out. Toes are going to peel up. Lean forward until you feel that good stretch through the back of your leg. Take a nice deep breath here. And then coming back up, you're going to push the back hip forward till you feel that good stretch. If you haven't tried the chair version of this stretch, I highly recommend it. It's great. You can get a lot more mobility without the balance challenges. Or if your legs are already fatigued, you don't have to worry about that while you're seated. Plus, you can use the chair to assist, leaning back even a little more to really open that hip up. And release. And then, of course, we have to finish off with my favorite shoulder stretch. So bring one arm up and across. And then just look out over that hand that's reaching out to the side and give a tiny nod up and down. And release. Go to the other side. And then again, if it feels good, looking out over that outstretched hand and that tiny nod. One more breath here. and release, come back to center. You guys did amazing today. Thank you for coming out to play with me. I look forward to next time.